What did the government just do regarding Camp Lejeune?
On August 10th of 2022, President Biden signed into law the Pact Act. And part of the Pact Act included relief for individuals that consume toxic chemicals at Camp Lejeune. The Pact Act is a huge piece of legislation. It's like 149 pages. In order to understand what the Camp Lejeune Justice Act is, you need to go to page 113 of the Pact Act. And it's the Camp Lejeune Justice Act is included between pages 113 and 117 of the Pact Act. And in the Section 804, it provides for a cause of action for anybody who has resided on Camp Lejeune for more than 30 days between August 1st of 1953 and December 31st of 1987. And if you can show that you resided or were on base for 30 days and you've contracted an illness that can be related to toxic water contamination, then you have a right to file a claim for monetary compensation.
Why does it matter to you personally?
Well, growing up in a military family, military members are very patriotic. They give a lot to their country. And in this instance, the Marine Corps and the Department of the Navy let soldiers down, let soldiers and their families down. They contaminated the soil and the aquifers on Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987. In the early 80s, when they realized that there was contaminated water, they didn't take the appropriate steps to even notify people of the contaminations. And they should have. So I think it's important to understand that this legislation is trying to make reparations to the members of the Marine Corps and their families who were injured by the Marine Corps.
How can the Overholt law firm help those who've been affected by this incident at Camp Lejeune?
I'm a personal injury lawyer. I've been practicing for 30 years. We consult with people day in and day out. It's a free consultation. We talk about the facts of their case. In particular, we're receiving a lot of phone calls from service members, from service members' dependents, and even heirs of deceased service members. And they're asking, we understand that this is past. Do I qualify? And we can talk to them about, how were they exposed to the chemicals on Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987. If we can establish that they were on Camp Lejeune, and there's a number of different ways you can do that. There's a form called the DD 214. That's one way to show a service member's duty stations. And through birth certificates, We can also use those to trace back individuals. We can get records from the National Archives regarding people's military service records and who their dependents were while they were residing on base. And so we talk to them about various documents that can assist in actually putting them on base during a 30-day period. And it's interesting to note that the Act does not require consecutive 30 days. So someone may have been off base and lived in Jacksonville but worked on the base 2 or 3 times a week. And they can qualify for benefits under this Act as well. Once you establish that they have been on base and exposed to the toxic water, then we start talking about health and any serious illnesses they have had. There is a whole host of cancers that these chemicals caused, and they also caused, there's a medical link between Parkinson's and a lot of cancers: throat cancer, bladder cancer, prostate cancer, and the list goes on. So what we're trying to do is to qualify them as to their time on base and what type of illness that they have sustained. And then if they qualify for those 2 things, what we can do to help them as far as extending representation on a contingency fee, meaning that we will take their case. They do not pay us unless we are successful.